All right, guys, on the bench, we have a Royce 609, and this belongs to Paul. Has become a good customer of mine. Paul sent this in along with a few mics and another new old stock Royce 611. Very similar radios, similar condition as far as new old stock wise. And yeah, so this one, like anything this age, even though it's new old stock, it really needs to be recapped and aligned. These capacitors are way beyond their service life, and these crystals have aged to the point now where, you know, they need to be aligned again. So, but this radio is in really great shape, as well as the 611 he sent in. So, yeah, just a basic service, recap, alignment, you know, things like that. But figured I'd do a, not really an unboxing, but because this radio is in such nice condition, I figured we'd go through the inside of what you'd find in this box, you know, as if you bought it back in the day. So, yeah, let's get to it, I guess. So yeah, the box is in really nice shape. Inspected by number 2, so it has, I mean, basically everything, you know, that you would have found back in, I don't know when this one is, it's from, but it's copyrighted 1977, so maybe late 1977, early 78, somewhere around there, because it is a 40-channel radio, so it has to be, you know, right around that time. But anyway, let's get this open. So we got the owner's manual as well as some other paperwork. Actually, let's go through that first. I'm not going to actually read everything in the owner's manual and stuff. That would be ridiculous, but we can put our eyes on the paperwork that would have come with the radio. And I'm going to try to be as careful as possible because everything here is pretty mint. I don't want to be the cause of, you know, something getting ruined. But yeah, I got the owner's manual. Try to keep the glare off as possible. We're having some unusually pleasant weather here up in New England, so the sun is shining, and I have this window that kind of like this little triangular window that I don't have a curtain on, so that's where you're seeing the sunlight come in from. But yeah, this is, Royce definitely made some nice looking radios. In fact, the Royce that I have, the only Royce that I own, is also a new old stock Royce. And in fact, a lot of the radios, not that I've done many Royce radios, but of all the radios I've done, new old stock wise, most of them have been Royce radios. I have no explanation for that. I don't know if people just bought Royce radios and, you know, put them in their closet and kind of forgot about them, or what. I don't know why, but anyway, yeah, so this is everything is in really nice shape, and you can see this is what you got back in the day too with your radio. Block diagram and a schematic, well, in this case a parts layout. Let's see if there's actually a schematic in here. Wiring diagram. Yeah, tuning your antenna. Some hints. A voltage chart for the ICs. Wow, that's pretty cool. For the transistors. Look at that, alignment instructions. Wow. That's pretty cool. That is really cool. So, well, actually, I mean, I have the Sam's manual. I have the Sam's manual for this But actually, let me just for curiosity's sake, let's see what the Sam's manual says. So, all right, hold on here. Let me get to the Royce. There you go. Figures it's the last one. Let's see, receive. T601, T102, 101, VR 101. There's no T601 here though. That's interesting. Yeah, so that's the only difference. Interesting. Yeah, that's cool though. Either way. Alignment instructions. That's very that's pretty cool. And a schematic. That's a really nice size schematic as well. So great. Put this back. What's the warranty? 90 days. And they're based out of Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Effective January 1st, 77 CB licenses will be issued by the FCC at no cost. Do not send any fee with your application after January 1st of 77. All right, guys, hopefully you got this memo. Don't send in any payment when you go get your CB license, all right? No hole magnet mount with fold over. So I don't know if this originally came with the radio as far as like paperwork goes, or I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the person who originally had this radio bought this as well along with the radio. Stays in place up to 100 miles an hour. Yeah, I don't know if they just included this, you know, so you saw this and wanted to buy one, or if the person actually bought the radio. But it does have, looks like it has some sort of serial number down there, so I'm assuming this was an antenna that was bought. Here's the service centers. See what's in Massachusetts. Samson Radio and TV. Electronic Service Center, Electronic World. These are all pretty far from me. What I mean by far is like East Pepperell, that's up by New Hampshire. That's probably, yeah, a lot of these, it's probably like an hour away from me, if not more. That's not including the bad traffic we have here. We have the worst traffic in the United States. So, what does that say for places like Chicago and New York? But anyway, owner's registration, special note, in careful studies, blah, 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 blah. It's basically just telling you that most of the problems are with your coax or your antenna or the connectors, and not usually with the radio itself. And I would agree with Royce on that. So here's the rules and regulations for Part 95, which is the CB band. And we have a temporary permit. And this is obviously as it sounds. Back in the day, you were given a temporary permit until your license came. And what's this? Oh, your FCC. Yeah, it's for your application. So you send that into the FCC. All right, so there's that. Let me set that off to the side so they don't get ruined. And now let's get to the actual radio. All right, we have the power cord, which it's like a Molex style. I'm pretty sure this is specific to Royce. I don't think anybody else uses that connector. I could be wrong, but I think this is a Royce only style. I'm pretty sure. I got the microphone. And that is volume control on the side. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pin. Mic is in really great shape. Yeah. Okay, set that aside. We have screws and CV bracket, mounting bracket, and then the radio itself. This unit has been quality checked and inspected in the United States. The quality check should have been done, which I know it's been done, but should have been done in Japan first. Imagine it coming to the United States with something wrong and you got to send it back. But yeah, I know they did their quality check in Japan before it was sent. But all right, we got the thumb screws, and we have a control number, which is just essentially a serial number. But okay, so we do have a date here, manufactured August of '78. All right, so well, there's a control number and then there's a serial number. So no, I was wrong. So control number is not serial number. Serial number is right there. So there you have it. But before I go handling this, when I go do my, when I go work on it, I'll make sure I tape this up and, you know, make sure that I'll normally put down, because this is pretty banged up here and it's got a bunch of stuff. I normally will put down like a one of those crafts, like cutting mats, so it doesn't scratch anything. Along with I'll tape up the bezel. But for now, yeah, we can kind of just enjoy the look of this Royce 609. It's not a scratch on it. Beautiful chrome. The front is just impeccable. So yeah, this is a really, really nice looking radio. So PA, CB, A&L, and then you have all the different modes for the meter. You have SRF, the calibration, and SWR. Volume, mic gain, squelch, calibration, that's for the SWR, RF gain, and then tune. Anyway, that's it. So let me get this plugged in. Actually, let me get that cutting mat, because I will be handling this. Go. You can actually plug it into the antenna. I like to do kind of just like a baseline check of stuff, kind of like a before and you know, after, just to make sure everything works before I put my hands in it. Alright, let's get an antenna on it. Am I hooked up here? Yeah, I'm hooked up. Alright. Doesn't really change the tone on the receive, so that must be a like a Delta tune type thing. Yeah, it definitely doesn't change the tone of the receive. So. So we do have a good receiving radio. I mean, I don't know how good, but it is receiving. Okay. For a second, it didn't look like RF gain was working, but that guy is just pumping through everything. Squelch is working. Alright, so we got a good working radio here. Alright, so what I'll do is now I'll go tape this up. I'll get this open and we can look on the inside of this and see what's going on. Alright, stand by. Alright, we can see on the inside here there's not that many caps. Single-sided board, so nothing too crazy here. This should be a pretty straightforward recapping. See, the board doesn't even take up the whole space along the frame here. I think it was more for looks and ergonomics, mostly, probably to keep the switches, because you do have a couple of more switches than what you would normally have, especially with the calibration, RF gain, and the tune pots on the front. So they probably just wanted to make things less crowded, so they extended the front of this CB radio, maybe a couple of inches, or inch and a half, inch and 3/4, somewhere around there. So yeah, it's you can see that the chassis itself is proprietary to Royce. I don't think this has been in anything else. This board is what, CMA-137,003, and then what does that say? Hold on here. That says SC-37SF. So I don't know if anything else this is in, but easy to align to. Doesn't look like there's a lot of adjustments here. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, so these caps are definitely beyond their service life. Doesn't look like there's any glue in it, not even the bigger caps. So yeah, this should be pretty easy. And what's that? That's a 10.240 crystal. Yeah, so let me get to this. Let me recap this, Shouldn't take me too long, and then yeah, we'll go ahead and do our tests like we normally do. All right, stand by. All right, well, this is why you recap. That C211 there was already leaking. It's electrolyte out, so yeah, that's why you recap these radios. There's this one here. Starting to leak out already. All right, radios recapped and aligned. White LED and the meter. This one's actually a little bit different. The meter light itself actually sits on top of the meter. So technically it would be in this area here. It's not behind the meter face. And it looks to me like it gives off a better glow when it's mounted on top of the meter. And you can actually see that the edges actually kind of glow a little bit better that way. So yeah, it gives a nice glow to the whole meter there. But yeah, it's recapped, aligned, working great. Obviously it's looking good. New old stock radio. As far as the caps go, there was two non-polar caps or bipolar caps. I think companies kind of refrain from calling them bipolar caps, even though they're the same, non-polar, bipolar. But yeah, there was two of them in this particular radio. So you got to make sure that you put them back in. If it's, you can't just replace them with polar caps, polarized caps. You can make your own non-polar caps. What you would do is you would connect either the two negative or the two positive together, and then the remaining two leads would give you a non-polar capacitor. The drawback of doing that is you lose half the capacitance. So you have to kind of make sure that if you're going to make your own, you have to actually use capacitors of a higher capacitance to compensate for the capacitance loss, if that makes sense. The easier way is just to use non-polar caps. If you're aware, if you have a list of the capacitors in your specific radio, and if you know beforehand, just order yourself some non-polar caps or bipolar caps. Yeah, so I keep some of the more common values in stock. I come across in radios, the 1 microfarad 50 volt caps tend to be the ones that I've come across have been that value anyway. I have, I think, maybe 3 more values on non-polar, but anyway, yeah, not a big deal. Just put them back in if that's what was in there. Do not put polarized caps in non-polar position. So yeah. But all right, with that out of the way, it was pretty easy to recap. And the only thing left to do now is just do our tests. So one thing I found too is there must be different board versions of this radio, because the Sam's manual I had didn't match exactly. In fact, half the stuff didn't match. And when I saw the board layout on this specific 609, it didn't match the board layout in the Sam's manual. So fortunately, I had some info in the owner's manual, so that came in handy actually. But anyway, the radio is aligned and working properly. So the only thing left to do is just to do the tests that I normally do, and that's about it. Nothing special really about this radio other than, it's just a good looking Royce radio, new old stock, so it's ready to go. But let me get this on Actually, it's already hooked up to the watt meter here, so let me, hopefully it'll show up right on the oscilloscope. But, alright, so, okay, right on. Kind of split the difference between the bird and the MFJ meter. So, audio. About, I'd say like 95% to 100 modulation. Yeah, 100. Alright. This is all AM only radio, so that's all we can show. So now we'll do receive, and yeah, that's really about it. So let me get this hooked up on the signal generator. Actually, turn that on too. All right, let's give this a S9. Okay. Let me turn the volume up on the mic. Alright. S9. Alright. See what we got for sensitivity. It's 100. 110, 120. Alright, 110. So, let me turn this up. Call it that. Minus almost, that's 114 minus 114 dBm at 12 dB a synod, so that's a really good listening radio. Alright, let me get the covers back on and we'll continue on with the tests. Alright, channel 18. It's really busy out there, so I tried to get this as clean as possible. We'll see what happens. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, testing out this Royce 609. Sounding good? Well, sounding the best it can be with all this traffic today. Yeah. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, right around an S9. Sounding a little bit better. Yeah, I'm trying to talk over everybody here, but I think we get the idea here. We got a Royce 609 sounding really good. Yeah, it's just super busy out there, and had to watch for the squeal and whatnot, but I think we get the idea. Yeah, it's a good sounding radio. Alright, let me put this thing on air and take it from there. Alright, she's on air. Let's see what's going on.
Here's the good laugh. Yeah, but I'm trying to get the frequency where I need it. But lucky, it's gone. Well, I gotta get back to the soldering iron. And then I ended up getting it from Marty. Yeah, Marty got it. Thank you, Miss Carter. You know, do what's the pay on me. Yes, sir. Something new every day.
Alright guys, I'm going to end it there. It's just way too busy. So, yeah, there you have it. A Royce 609. New old stock. Looking good, working good. Ready to be put back into service. Thanks for watching.